So drum DVDs, drum educational materials, right? There's some really great ones out there. But I got to be honest, before I learned hand technique, before I learned rudiments, those DVDs and educational materials, things like that, were more frustrating to me than anything else because I'd watch the drummers in these videos and they sounded awesome. And then I'd sit down at my kit and try to replicate what I was hearing and I'd sound awful or I wasn't even close, right? And I mean, I'd watch them, I'd watch their hands, I'd watch their arms, I'd try to do what they were doing and I sounded bad and I had no idea why. And a lot of times the DVDs don't really dive into that. I feel like they assume that you have a sort of foundation, a base level of technique. And I didn't have that. And so it'd be like this. They'd say, let's play this groove. And the teacher in the video would say, pay attention to what the kick's doing, pay attention to what the snare's doing. Notice that there are 3 consecutive notes on the hi-hat, but then they'd stop there. And I'd be trying to do it and I'd sound like this. What they didn't say is that to be able to play those 3 consecutive notes, you've got to stay loose. You got to work on your rebound strokes so that your fingers can then come into play and you can play the stick with your fingers. And there's just all this technique that you need to build up and spend time with and really improve on before you can play that and make it sound good, right? You can play that and maybe trick yourself into thinking that, you're able to pull it off. But if you're honest, you're not sounding good playing that. And the reason is you need to build up hand technique. So the Better Hands course that I came up with does just that, right? It goes into the hand techniques you need to know to play pretty much anything you want on the drums and to have it sound good, right? My goal here is not to just teach you drum grooves and fills and chops and have you just regurgitate them, right? I want you to have the hand technique tools to where you can listen to an awesome drum part and break down what's happening, know what hand techniques are being used, be able to replicate it, make it sound good, and then use that as a foundation to then go off and learn anything you want to learn, create anything you want to create, and the sky's the limit. You're just going to have all these open doors and have so much more fun with your drumming than you ever had before, right? So that's the goal. So, thanks for checking out Tempo League. Thanks for checking out the Better Hands course. I really do hope you'll join me on this journey to better hands, and happy drumming.